Hello and welcome everyone to today's session. Today in this session we'll be talking about this project, shell, init files, variables and expansions. I'm sure you guys are already familiar with the shell, right? We've been using the shell in the previous tasks, okay? So here are the resources that you are supposed to read or watch for this project. I'm not going to explain these resources here one by one. Why? Because I don't want the video to be long. What I'm going to do to make this thing very simple is that I'm going to go directly to the tasks. Okay, so when I go to the tasks, I'm going to explain each and every step I'm going to do to solve this task. Okay, if there is a need for me to reference to any of these materials here, I will definitely come back and reference to them. Okay, so all you have to do before watching this video, before attempting the task, is make sure you go through these resources here. They are not actually difficult to understand. Okay, they are just very simple. Okay, don't be scared by the number of resources here. Okay, it's very simple to understand and it's just straightforward. So this task here today, I think we have about 18 tasks, right? Yes, almost 18 tasks. So we are going to solve 18 tasks today. So that's why I said I'm not going to take time in reading or going through these materials right here. So now let me first start by explaining to you what these variables are. Okay, variables are just like something that you store a value inside. Okay, so in this case, let me give you an example. Let's say this is var and I say equals to, let's say, alias. So this here, this is what? A variable. It might not necessarily be var. Okay, you can name it anything. You can say name. It's just that there are some rules, okay, that you need to follow before naming your variable. So this is what? A variable that stores what? That stores this value here, alias. So anytime in my program or anywhere in my program I call this name, it's going to address this value here. Okay, that's just what these variables are. You get to understand more about variables when we begin the C programming, I think in the next few days. Okay, so that's just what these variables are. This expansion, when you go through this material here, you understand more about this expansion. It's nothing to take time explaining. Okay, I just feel like the variables is very important. That's why I take a little time to explain it to you guys. So make sure you go through them and make sure you check on these commands here as well. So before we move to the tasks, let me take my time and explain what the alias is. Okay, what is alias? Alias is just like another name for something, right? Let's say your name is Johnny, right? And maybe people used to call you Joe. Okay, so Joe is like an alias to your name, right? Your alias is Joe, but your real name is Johnny, right? So that's just what an alias is. So you can also create an alias on the command line. Okay, you can create an alias to simplify things. Let me show you how you can create an alias. Just type in alias, then the alias. What's the alias name? Let's say Joe. Let's say Joe, right? So it's the alias of Johnny, right? Joe. Okay, then I will just say equal to then Johnny, right? So you've created an alias here. Instead of you to just type in Johnny, whenever you are to address this, you can just type in Joe. Okay, and it will what? It will automatically refer to this. So that's just what this alias is about. Alias is very important. Actually, I'm going to show you how I use this alias to make my command very shorter and easier to write. Okay, so let's just go to the tasks. So the first task here says create a script that create an alias. Okay, so this is just what I just explained here, how to create an alias. But what should be the name of the alias? The name should be what? Should be ls, right? So, and the value should be what? Should be rm. Okay, so before we do that, we have to create a repository here, which is what? This, right? So let's mkdir. Okay, so let's cd into the repo. Okay, so don't forget to create your readme. Okay, so let me just say alias project, right? Then readme.md. Okay, so let's ls. Okay, yes, so you can see we've successfully created our readme. So the next thing is to what? Is to open this file here, vi, then the file name here. Okay, yes, so you can see we are asked what? To create a script. So since it is a script, you have to begin with what? The hash bang, right? /bin/bash, right? So what does this ask us to do? It says we should create an alias. So since we are creating an alias, the first thing is what? Type in alias. So what should be the name of the alias? The name is what? Is ls, right? So equal to, what should be the value of the alias? The value of the alias is was this rm asterisk. So rm asterisk. Okay, so what is this code going to do? What this is going to do is that you've assigned a name to this alias. You've assigned an alias to this command here. Instead of you to always be typing rm asterisk whenever you want to perform an operation that this command does, you can just simply type in ls and it will invoke this command for you. Okay, that is in this case. Okay, in normal case, when you type in ls, it's going to display the list of content in your directory. But here in this case, for this case here, this ls is just going to execute this command for you. So let's save and exit. So now the next thing is let's convert it to executable file, right? u+x. So what's the file name? So this is it. So the next thing is to git add, right? Okay, so git commit. So what should I call this? I can just say alias, right? Alias 0. Okay, that's the first project, is task 0, right? So then let's git push. Okay, so now let's check our code and see if it works. Okay, so there is a problem with our code. So let's check and see what's the problem. Okay, it says the output is not correct. All right, so let me refer to the resource on alias and see. This is it. Where is it? This is it, the alias. Let me open it here. Okay, so let's see how we create the alias. Okay, the mistake I made is that there is no spacing between the name and the value of the alias. Okay, so let's open the file again. So things like this actually do happen. Okay, so I'm supposed to remove this this spacing here. So you have to take note, right? When you are creating an alias, there is no space between the value and the equality sign, right? Or let me say the assignment variable, and also between the assignment variable and the variable itself. Okay, there's no spacing. So let's save and exit again. Okay, so let's convert to executable 0, right? So let's git add, git commit, so alias 0, right? Then git push. Okay, so let's go back and check and see if it works now. Okay, so let's check our code again. Yes, so you can see now it works, right? So this is how to create an alias. But before I proceed to the next task, let me give you something. Okay, let me show you something. Let me first clear my screen. When we are to add and commit and also push to GitHub, we have to type in this command git add dot git commit with so git push with so. Why don't we create an alias for all these things here? Okay, instead of writing these codes one by one, these commands, why don't we create an alias for this? I think it would be a very, very good idea to do that, right? So let's create an alias for this. Okay, to create an alias, we can simply type in the command alias, right? Alias equals to, let's say I want the value, the value is, let's say for git add, that's for git add. I can just say, if I type in gt, it should git add to my GitHub. Okay, so I say equal to then the value is git add dot, right? So if I press enter now, I've successfully created the alias. But one thing you have to take note here is that if I do like this now, if I say gt, it's going to add directly, okay, because I've already created an alias gt to add to my GitHub. But this gt here is only going to be available in this current shell that we are working on. Okay, so if I should quit my shell here and reopen it again, this gt is not going to work. Okay, so how can we set this alias to be permanent on this? So what I'm trying to say is that this gt is temporary on this shell. So if we quit our shell now, this gt alias is gone. Okay, you will not be able to use it again. So it doesn't make any sense for us to always be coming back and what, and be this thing, and be creating alias all the time. Is not helping, right? So we have to what, make this alias permanently on our shell. So how do we do that? Let's go back here. To do that, simply you just have to say vi, okay, vi, then the tilde sign, which is the shift, and the key beside your 1 key on your keyboard. Okay, that's where you get this tilde. Okay, so the shift, then what, slash dot bash rc. Okay, so this contains all the configuration of the bash. Okay, so you can press enter. So when you press enter, it's going to bring you somewhere here. Just simply press I. Don't be scared, okay, because you've seen a lot of codes. Okay, you'll be thinking it's something. Don't be scared. Just scroll down until you find this. Okay, until you find this. You can see here some more ls alias. So this is just where you can create your alias. You can actually put it anywhere, but it's just that it's good to what, to put your codes where they belong to. You can see here these are list of what, aliases here. Okay, so we can create our alias. So how can we create our alias here? Sorry, I can simply say, okay, just come here above all these aliases here and create your own alias. So our alias is what, let's say it's, sorry, we are creating an alias first for what, for git add. So I can just say the value, I can just say G. When I press the letter G, it should what, automatically add to my GitHub. Then press equality sign, then what, then the command git add dot. Okay, yes, so I'm done with this. So the next one I want to create is what, for what, alias for commit, right? That's the longest. I hate typing this git commit all the time. Okay, so then you can what, add git commit. But in this case, as you know, we always pass what, we always pass an argument, right, or a form of text to our git command, git commit, right? So in this case, I'll just leave a space like this, because you know, when you type in git commit -m, you have to leave a space, right? Then what, then you type in whatever you want to type as your commit message. So you just leave it like this. Okay, git commit -m. So whenever you call this C, you have to what, you have to pass in the commit message. You are going to see how this is going to work. Okay, then for git push also, I will just say alias, I will just say p. Okay, so it's what, it's git push. So that's just all. If you like, you can create an alias also for your chmod. If I just type in ch, for instance, then chmod u plus x. Okay, so simple. You've created what, an alias that will be permanently stored on your what, on your shell. So let's save and exit. Okay, so now we are done with that. So let's move to the next task and see if all these aliases we've created, it's going to work. First of all, let me clear my screen. So this task here is asking us to what? It says we should create a script that print what? Hello user, where user is the current Linux user. Okay, so first let's open the file here. Let's come here, vi, right, then paste. Okay, so we are writing a script, right, /bin bash, right? So it says what, we should create a file, create a script that prints. Okay, so we are going to use echo, right? We use echo for printing, right? That print what? It print hello user. So it's going to print hello and then the user name of the current Linux user. The user is who? Is the current person working on that shell. Okay, the current Linux user. So how do you get the current Linux user when you are using the terminal? So you simply type in $sign and then user. Okay, when you enter this echo hello user on your terminal, it's going to display hello and then the username of the current user using that particular terminal. Okay, so that's just how to display what, the current user. Okay, so here it says we should what, print hello then the user. So that's why we use hello then user. Had it mean we are just asked to what, to print just the user, we can just simply remove this hello and we can say echo $, then the what, then the user. Okay, so that's how we create, we display a current Linux user. So you simply press escape and exit, save and exit. Yes, so now the next thing you're supposed to do is what? Is to convert this to what? An executable file. So if you can remember, we've created an alias, right? ch, which is what? Which contains the value for chmod u plus x, right? Instead of me to write that chmod in full now, I can simply just call the alias. I can just say ch, right? Which stands for what? chmod u plus x. That's what we registered in our .bash rc file, if you can remember, right? Now we just call what? The file name. Okay, I'll just say 1 and the file name, and press enter. So now we have what? We have converted it to an executable file. The next thing is to what? Is to add, commit and push, right? If you remember, I've created an alias for add, which is what? Simply g, which is for git add, right? So this is going to add it for me. It has added. Then for commit, we said c, right? But if you can remember, we have to pass what? A commit message, which is what? Let me just name the task name, which is hello u. Hello u is what? Is the commit message. Then you can just press enter. So you can see it has been committed. Then p for push. So you can see this alias makes things very, very easy. Instead of me to be writing git add, git commit, git push all the time, I can just call the alias. That's all. Okay, so let's check the code and see now if it works. Yes, so you can see it works. So let's move to the next task. So this task here, it says what? Add /action, right, to the path, and /action should be the last directory the shell looks into when looking for a program. This sounds a bit complicated, but I think there is something like this in the resources. We are going to check it. So for now, let's open the file here. Let's paste. So we are writing a script, right? /bin/bash. Okay, so it says what? Add /action to the path. Okay, let's open the resource here. Like I said, I'm going to be referencing to them when the need are shell initialization files. Okay, so let's scroll down and see. So you can see this is an example of how to add a path. This is the name, path, right? Then equals to what? $path. Then you enter what? The directory. So in our own case is what? Where is the task? So in our own case is what? Is /action. That's the directory, right? So how do we write this? So we simply type in what? Sorry, path, right, equals to, then the $, then path again, then what? A full colon, right? Then slash what? Let's check. /action, right? So you type in /action. Sorry, the action should be what? Should be in lowercase, right? /action. So this is what this is required from you. To what? To add /action to the path. So let's save now and exit. So let's ch, right? Then let's add, right? Then commit. Our commit message should be path, right? Sorry, let me just say path. Then push. Okay, so now let's check and see if the code is correct. Yes, so you can see it's worked, right? So let's move to the next task. It says create a script that counts the number of directories in the path. Oops, I kept being logged out. I'm having some instability in my network today. So let me try and log in again. So we continue. So now we are on this project here. It says create a script that counts the number of directories in the path. Okay, let's open the file first. Okay, so vi, like I said before beginning this task, I said you have to go through that resources. If else, there are some things I will be saying you'll not be understanding. Okay, it's just that I don't want to take a lot of time explaining the resources and making the video longer, and also do the the task at the same time. It's complex. Okay, it's better to do the thing in a bit by bit. So you have to read the materials first. Like I said, if there is any need for us to reference to any of these materials, we are going to do that. Okay, so read those materials first before attempting this project here. So press I. So we are asked to what? Create a script. So /bin/bash, right? So what are we asked to do? We should create a script that counts the number of directories. Okay, the script should count the number of directories, and whenever we call this script, we are going to display the directories here. Okay, as you can see, 11 directories, 12 directories. We are going to use what? Word count. I've explained word count, I think, in our previous class, right? I've explained the wc command here. So what I'm going to do is I will just say echo, right? And then what? And then dollar, then path. Because of what? Because they said create a script that counts the number of directories in the path. You are referencing to this is considered a directory, right? And whenever you are referencing it to a directory, you simply have to use the what? The dollar sign here. Just go through this. Let me open this resource here. I think it's in shell arithmetic, right? Let's open shell arithmetic and see. I think it should be there. Okay, as far as you've read this shell, no, sorry, not shell arithmetic, it should be expansion, sorry, shell expansions. Provided that you've read this shell expansion, you'll be able to understand why I kept using this dollar sign here. Okay, you'll be able to understand why I kept using the dollar sign. Okay, so just go through this and you'll be able to understand the reason. Okay, so let's go back to the task here. So it says what? Where is it? Okay, that what? It counts the number of directories in the path. So here what I'm trying to say is that I want you to what? Echo. You know, we all know what echo does, right? I want you to echo everything inside this repository, sorry, inside this variable here, path. And when you echo everything, I want you to pipe it. I'm sure you can remember the pipe command, right? I want you to pipe it and what? Run this command on it, the tr. We all know what the tr command, right? I've explained the tr command as well. We said we use the tr command to what? To translate or let's say perform some operations on text, right? So when you use the tr command, then what? Then I want you to separate each of these files, right? Everything you've printed from this word, from this path, I want you to separate them using this one, this separator here. So you can just put it, put a quote between them. Okay, this is going to what? Separate the lines. Okay, just like what you are seeing here. This is home Julian bin, right? Then this is the separator, right? Then what? Home Julian dot local dot bin again, right? Then this is another what? Separator here. You can see the colon here is a separator. So this is how you can just type in the separator. What I'm saying is when you print all these things that are inside this path, I want you to pipe it here and run this command tr, because I want to modify, I want to perform an operation on the result here, right? Then what? Use this to what? To separate all these directories here. Since we are interested in counting directories, I want you to separate these directories using this, right? Then what? I want you to what? To display them in a new line. Okay, so I can simply say /n, because if I do not display them in a new line, it will be very, very difficult for me to kind of to count. Okay, because we all know how the WC works. Okay, it counts based on words, it counts based on lines. Okay, so that's why I use the /n. Sorry, this has to be, what's this here? Okay, so it should be what? A full colon, right? So this is the essence why I'm going to use what? /n. I want it to be what? Line by line, so that it will be very, very easy for me to count. Then I want to pipe it again. When you perform this operation, this tr, afterward performing the operations on the directories, separating them with this, and also what? Printing them in a new line, I want you to what? To count them by line. WC minus L. I'm sure you can remember what this WC command does. We've explained what the WC command does, right? We said we can use it to count the number of words, we can use it to count the number of bytes that particular words consume. We can also use it to count the number of lines in a file. Okay, so this is just what this command is saying. The first thing it says, echo everything inside this variable here, path. I want you to print it. But when you print it, I don't want you to display it to me on the standard output. We've explained the standard output. That is, I don't want you to display it on the screen, right? I want you to pipe it into this command here and run this tr command. This tr command will what? Will help us to what? To perform a certain operation on the file, okay, on the variables, sorry, on the directories. And when you run this tr, I want you to separate any variable with this separator here. I didn't mean here they used let's say a comma, so here we are going to use a comma, but from here it's good when you read the question, you should also see the example, or sorry, the output. Okay, it's from here you'll be able to understand why why you are going to use some particular things on your code. Okay, so it is from here that I realized that, okay, I'm going to use this full colon as what, as my separator. Okay, so when you separate the codes, sorry, the directories, I want you to move to the next line. After separating the directories with this separator here, move to the next line. So this means what? This means that the directories are going to be displayed line by line, right? So after you have done this, I want you to what? To pipe it here and run the wc-l command. So this will what? This will help me count the number of lines, which is the number of directories indirectly, right? So I just hope you understand what I'm trying to say. If you don't understand it, you can just move back and go and read those resources. Like I said, you have to read them, okay? So, and I'm sure I've explained all this tr command. Oops, I'm logged out again. I don't know why I kept having this network instability issue here, but let me log in again. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so let's navigate to the directory, and I've not even saved the file. Wow, so I'll have to type it again. Let me clear my screen. Clear. Okay, so let's see if the file has been saved. No, it has not been saved. So vi, right, then 3 path, right, this is the file name. Okay, so let's type in the code once again, bin/bash. So what did we say? The code is what? Is $, right? Then what? Then path, which is the variable, right, in which we are checking, right? Or let me say the folder or directory we are checking, right? Path, then what? Then we are going to pipe it to tr, then use the full colon as the separator, right? Then what? Then we want it in a new line, right? Then what? Then I want to word count. Okay, I want to count everything here. So I'm sure I've explained all these things. So let's save and exit here. So now let's convert it to executable. Okay, so let's add, sorry, okay, git add is g, right? Yes, then commit should be what? Let's just name it path, right? Then push. Okay, so let's check and see if the code works. Yes, so you can see it worked, right? I just hope everything I'm saying is understood. If not everything, I'm sure it's kind of difficult to understand everything, but if you can grasp the concept, actually it's also an achievement. Okay, don't try to understand everything at a time. Okay, you can just understand the concept and you can use your own method to do this thing. Okay, so let's move to the next task. The next task here says, first let me just copy the file name so that we'll be doing it as we are reading the question. Okay, so it will make more sense. So paste. So I'm sure it's a script, right? Then bin/bash. Okay, so let's read the question here. Create a script that lists environment variables. We are to create a script that what? Lists environment variables. Let's open the directory here. Sorry, the environment variables, the resource. Environment variables. It's just a simple command. I just don't want to tell you. I want to show you. Okay, I want to show you. Environment here, it should be here, variables. It says what? That display the question. Sorry. Create a script that lists environment variables. That's just the role of the script. It should list environment variables. You can read about environment variables. Okay, you'll be able to understand more about environment variables. We have local variables. We have global variables. Global variables are variables that you can use even in another shell. Okay, while local variables are those that you can use only within the current working shell. Just go and read about them. Okay, creating variables. I just want to go to this environment variables and see environment variables. I just want to find the command here. I don't know where the command is. Okay, anyways, I can't seem to find it here, but you can just read ahead and you'll be able to see. Let me just type in the command for you. So the command to list the environment variables is simply print env. print environment, right? This is just going to what? It's going to print all the environmental variables on your shell. Okay, that's just what this command does. So let's save. Actually, I wanted to show you the command, okay, so that I'll be able to read through, but since I've not seen it, and I'm sure it's there actually, it's just that I'm not this thing, I was not careful to check. So what's the file name? Sorry, this. Then we have to add, right? Then commit. Our commit message should be, let's say, global, right? Then push. Okay, so let's check. Like I explained in brief, global variables are variables that are available even in another shell on your workspace, okay? While local variables are those variables that are what? Within your current shell. So you can see we've passed the checks as well. So let's move to the next task here, which is local variables, okay? It says create a script that lists all local variables and environment variables and functions. Interesting. So let's open the file first here. So let's clear my screen. Vi, paste here. So /bin/what/bash. Okay. So what's the question? Yes, so it says what? Create a script that lists all local variables and environment variables and what? And functions. So this script should what? Should list local variables, right? It should list what? Environment variables, and it should what? It should list all the functions. So it's just that you are going to list everything on this what? On these variables, right? So let's come back here. You can go through this material here. You can find that command, but let me just explain it for you from here. So just come here. This is the command. Actually, this is the command set. This is the command set. So you can simply type in man set on your website. Just type in man set, and you'll be able to what? You'll be able to see everything about this, okay, about this command here. So this is just the command. When you type in set, it's going to what? It's going to list everything for you. It's going to list the local variables that you have. It's going to list all the environmental variables that you have, and also all the functions you have. So that's just what this command does here. Set, just simple set. It's okay. It's going to set all these things for you. It's going to display everything for you. Okay, so the next thing is to save and exit here. So let's convert it to executable, right? So let's add, then commit. Let's just name it set, then push. So let's see if it works. Okay, so you can see it works. There is also another way you can do this. You can use the declare variable instead of set. As you can see here, I said what? Let me view the file here. cat5, right? So you can see here I used what? I used set. Here you can use declare. It's all the same. It's going to perform the same operation. Like I said, there are a lot of ways to do these things, okay? There are a lot of ways to do this. So this is just one of the many ways you can use to do this. So you can see our project has been checked, okay? Our task is checked correctly. So the next task here, it says create a script that creates a new local variable, okay? So we are going to create what? A local variable. You should all know the difference between a local variable and a global variable. Local is within your shell. A global variable is a variable that you can use even in another shell, okay? That's just what this is trying to say, okay? So let me open the file here, paste. So we are creating a script, right? /bin/bash. Okay, so we are what? To create a local variable. So I've already shown you how to create a local variable. I've explained something about that. Let me just open my notepad and show you this thing again. Okay, so I said we can, when I was explaining variable, I said you can name your variable like this var, right? Is equals to, let's say, then the value name, let's say alias, right? So this is what? This is the variable name, and this is what? This is the value of your variable. Whenever you call this var, it's like you are calling alias. Okay, so this is how you can create what? A local variable. This is how you create a local variable. You just type in the variable name first, or let me just give you an example. Let's say name, right? Name is equals to Johnny. Okay, so this is just an example of variable. You've created a variable and assigned this value to that variable, and the variable name is what? Is name. So this is how you can create a local variable. You don't add anything before the variable name. It's just the name directly, then what's the value. So that's how you create what? A local variable. And this is what we were asked to create here, to create a local variable. And the name of the variable should be what? Should be guest. Okay, so let's paste here. Just type in this, then what? Then equal to, then what? The value. This is the value. So the value should be in what? Should be in quotes. Okay, so then you paste here. So now we've created a variable called name, and the value of the variable is school. So let's save and exit and see if it will work. So let's convert it to executable first. All right, so let's add. So let's commit, should be local, right? Then push. So let's check our code if it will work. Yes, so you can see it also worked, right? So let's move to the next task here. The next task asks us to create a what? A new global variable. In the above task here, we created what? A local variable, while here we are creating what? A global variable. So let's see the differences on how to create local and global variable. So let me open the file first here. So vi, then the file name, right? So so script /bash, right? So to create a global variable here, the way we created our local variable initially, we just type in the name here, right? Paste. Then we said equal to, then what is the value here? The value here is what? Is school, right? So let's paste it here as well. So now this is what? A local variable. We've just created a local variable, not a global variable. So how do we create a global variable? To create a global variable, we just type in export before the variable name. Okay, just type in export before the variable name. That's just the differences. Okay, that's just the difference. In the local variable, we don't add anything before the name, while in the global variable you have to add this word export to make it what? A global variable. So let's save and exit. Let's convert it to executable now. Okay, so then let's add. So commit. So it should be global variable, right? Then push. Okay, so now let's check our code if it will work. Yes, so you can see it worked. So this is how you can create a global variable and a local variable. The difference is just that export word that you enter before the variable name. That's just the difference. In creating a local variable, you don't need that, while in creating a global variable, you need to add that export before the variable name. So now let me clear my screen before moving to the next task.